We're Bison! We are impacted! We're Bison! We're ready to get up! We want to win! Light the fire of power that make us free! We never break down! We want to win! We are impacted! The best team!
Hello and welcome back to TNI-UK Impacted, coming to you live via the Total Nonstop Impact Network on YouTube and Twitch. I'm your host Bison, and today I'm joined by the one and only Joker, and of course, the man simply known as Steve. Hello fellas, how are we doing?
We're good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad at all. I've had a bit of a busy day, but managed to get the show written up and ready to rock and roll just in time as we were about to go. So yeah, been good. My daughter and son have been having their final sports day. Well, my son's final sports day before he goes to high school. And then my daughter, obviously, Boomer Bison, who's been was doing her sports day as well, which is fantastic. So, and it's been a fabulous day for it as well. Caught a bit of sun, I think. My head's got a bit red. But yeah, no. So it's been a great day. Can I just quickly say a quick hello to Anna? We've got Jane Bryant in the house. I think we've got Tom in the house as well. Mir's in the house. Welcome back, guys. It's nice to see. Yes, I definitely am still alive, Mir. I managed to survive my dice with death, or whatever you want to call. And Bonus Baby, nice to see you in the house as well. And I appreciate your kind words there. We got Keith in the house, which is fantastic. And he's recovering from COVID, so all the best there.
Wishing you all the well.
Yeah, wishing you better there. So just a quick one. So how have you been getting on, Steve? You all right?
Yeah, we're fine, thanks. Still recovering after our lovely trip, and yeah, still taking everything in. Fantastic, cool. Fantastic day, wasn't it?
It was a great day. We're going to talk about it in a second. What about you, Joe? How are you, bud?
Buzzing, absolutely beaming. I've not stopped grinning since Sunday night. Since I got back Sunday, even despite the big, I'm not going to go too much into the journey here, but let's just say it wasn't as straightforward as it should have been.
Yes, yeah,
it wasn't quite as easy though. It wasn't. No, you're right. But welcome to Zach. Thanks for joining us, bud. And Keith's in the house as well. I mentioned Keith already. Yeah, triple threat. You're right. What's that? Speed Austin. What's that all about? Speedball Austin? I don't know. Never mind. Great to see you guys. And oh my God, Larry Bongo is also joining us. So yeah, it's all in there. Great to see. Full of COVID, but there you go. Yeah, so it was a great weekend, wasn't it? But I'll tell you what we'll do is we'll get slapped back into the news and rumors and the impact recap. And I'm sure as we sort of kind of develop through, we might end up talking about Wrestle Carnival. So we'll see where we get to. Let's get stuck into the first stuff. We've got Mia Yim defeating Deonna Purrazzo after an epic main event at last week's Impact to earn herself a title shot versus Jordynne Grace at Emergence. Can't wait for this one. What are your thoughts on this? I think it's going to be. I thought it was an amazing main event for a start.
Yeah.
It was a great match. And I honestly didn't know who was going to win this one because we don't see Deonna lose a lot, do we, these days? So it actually came as a bit of a surprise because I was expecting Deonna to win, to be honest. But either way, it was a good match. It's great to see Mia did get the victory, even though obviously Deonna is the fucking greatest. Mia Yim proved that she was strong enough on this occasion to get the W. But I think that's going to be a great match. Jordynne Grace versus Mia Yim for the Knockouts title. Emergence. What are your thoughts?
I saw it. I thought it was going to come in, but the main event was fantastic, and Mia Yim and Deonna Purrazzo shut down anyone who's criticising that the knockouts can't main event the show, and who did criticise them about their whole performance in the match. They both tore them to pieces. They were absolutely fucking brilliant. If anyone's got any issues with them in that match, watch it again and then find something to whinge about.
Yeah, I agree. Exactly that. What about you, Steve? What were your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, like Joe said, I had a feeling that this was coming. Just because if you're going to push Deonna into the tag division, then it will feel weird her going into the singles division. But yeah, Mia Yim versus Jordynne Grace, take my money. And it's a top talent for, you assume, Jordynne to get a win over. It would be, either way, it'd be interesting to see Mia have the championship again. But it's a hell of a match for Emergence.
Yeah, you can't knock it, can you? I
No.
think that's going to be an absolute cracker of a match. Massive fan of, obviously, Mia anyway, and a big fan of how far Jordynne has come, certainly in the last couple of years, with Impact Wrestling in all aspects. I mean, her vignette work, her promo work, her transformation, physically as well has been been amazing to see. I mean, she's clearly one hell of a strong lady, that's for sure. So that's great to see as well. Now, the only thing, talking about Jordynne Grace, is she did make a bit of a ridiculous tweet earlier this week related to Chris Benoit. And she got some serious backlash, which then led to her releasing a public apology regarding her insensitivity, I guess you could say. You could put it. Her comments, I didn't necessarily. It was a little bit kind of like, it was almost, she was making a comment not being in full. I mean, the bit about, obviously, rotten hell type stuff. That was a little bit much. It was almost like she wasn't in full, knowledge of what actually happened in the end, kind of thing, how it sort of kind of all panned out. And it is an awful thing to get that kind of brain damage that he had, which sort of led to the anger issues that he had and all that kind of stuff. And it's sad, what happened, but you have to sometimes think, why did that happen? Because it was completely out of character. Now, the other thing was that she was talking about that he couldn't even hang the rest of today. I happen to believe that, if we just forget everything else, just worry about, just talk about his wrestling ability. The dude was one of the best that ever lived, when it comes to in-ring everything. Yeah. His presence, his psychology, his storytelling, his just ruthless aggression, was for me absolutely second to none. And he could hang with anybody in the business today without any shadow of a doubt. So that was kind of a little bit of an odd one. I think that was more pushed based. I mean, even Gail Kim was like, "What are you talking about?" He could hang with anybody. I don't know what you're talking about. That's like turning around and saying Eddie Guerrero couldn't either. You know what I mean? And people like Rey Mysterio prove that they can hang with these guys every day, like every week.
Yeah.
They're around in the same time, and had like classic matches that you can look back at now and go, wow. It's like saying Rey Mysterio couldn't do it, and he clearly can,
Definitely. I always think when you start a tweet off with, "I'm probably going to offend people with this," you're probably best not writing it.
Yeah, I agree.
It was one of those things where you think it was a tweet that never probably needed to be written.
Yeah. And can I just quickly say thank you, Terence? I appreciate that. And if you haven't watched my interview with Rosemary, you need to go and do it now. Well, maybe not now. After the show, go and check it out, because it is definitely worth it. But Terence, no, I agree with you. But I'm not talking about that side of things. I'm talking about his ability in the ring.
Yeah.
So the other thing that we got some matches have been released for this weekend's tapings at the Derby City Rumble in Louisville, Kentucky. with a debuting Kushida facing Rich Swann. We've got Diano and Chelsea Green versus Mia and Jordan. Mia Yim and Jordynne Grace. We've got Mike Bailey versus Rocky Romero. Whoa. Tavern and Bennett versus Bay and Austin. We've got VBD versus Motor City Machine Guns and PCO versus Doc Gallows. Now, come on. That is what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking about. I mean, that is... Put it this way, right? If you've seen that lot of matches being released for this weekend and you live in the area, right, and you're not willing to go and buy a ticket for that show, what the is wrong with you?
Like, for reals.
That's all I got to say on that. That's all I've got to say. It just what a fantastic show. Well, 2 days of tapings, basically. What fantastic 2 days of taping you've got there just with those matches. And obviously, that's not all of the matches, is it? That's like that's just a probably, I don't know, 50% of the matches, maybe. I don't know, but I mean, there's still a hell of a lot more matches to come. A lot more storytelling to be told. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this, and I appreciate. Oh, Louisville. Oh, it's Louisville, not Louisville. Okay, fair enough.
Louisville.
Well, I come from the country that invented the English language, so I would have called it Louisville, but there you go. So, but it looks good. I think I think that looks great. What do you think, Joe?
Sorry, I missed that. I was dealing with something in the chat. What were we talking about?
Oh, sorry. I was just saying that the matches that we've got set up for the Derby City Rumble in Louisville, Kentucky. We've got the debut in Kushida facing Rich Swann. We've got Diana and Chelsea versus Mia Yim and Jordynne Grace. Mike Bailey versus Rocky Romero. Tavern and Bennett and Bay versus Bay and Austin. That's going to be a cracker. We've got VBD versus Motor City Machine Guns. We've got PCO versus Doc Gallows. Like I said, that's just a few of the shows that we've got set. You know what I'm saying? That's just a few of the shows, a few of the matches. What are your thoughts on? I mean, I'm looking forward to Kushida. Are you?
The whole card is setting up to be amazing. I think Rich Swann's got a match, hasn't he? Is it Kushida? Rich Swann's up against.
Yes, so we've got Kushida versus Rich Swann.
That is going to be amazing. It's going to remind everyone why Rich Swann is still a main event competitor, even though he's not going for the big gold and the big guns now. But I'm really looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to seeing the Motor City Machine Guns match as well. That's going to be
mate, I think for me, any match with Motor City Machine Guns is going to be a banger.
Yeah,
they've got Ace Austin and Chris Bay soon, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to do next, and hopefully we get to see Alan and Mod do something too. Hopefully we see.
Yes, the Mike Bailey, Rocky Romero. I think that's going to be. Yeah, that's going to be an absolute beauty because we know how good Rocky is. We know how good Rocky is.
Oh, yeah.
Mike Bailey has already been, classed as one of the best wrestlers in the world already. But against Rocky Romero, we know is an absolute gem as well. I think we've got one hell of a match up there. Tavern Bennett, Bay Austin, I think that's going to be a cracker as well. And I kind of agree with that comment. Who I think it was somebody's put in the chat there with regards to Diana and Chelsea, whether they're going to improve as a team a little bit. I hope so, because I think there's a lot of scope there with those guys. I think they could be lining them up to become knockouts champions at some point moving forward. I think they'd be great. I think they'd end up being, because either way, like they've got chemistry between the two of them on the mic. Off screen they've got chemistry in the mic, but in the ring. But they need, I think they probably just need a little bit more time just to sort of kind of gel, get some moves together, and really do a good job on it. It's obviously, I mean, I know that they teamed in NXT, but
it's been a while.
It's been a while, so I think it would be great. But either way,
it's all shaking the cobwebs now. Deanna Parson was itching to get back together with Chelsea and prove everyone what they can do and really, really showcase it, because they weren't allowed to really do it in NXT. And Deanna Parson has been really itching to do it since Josh Green's come to Impact Wrestling. So it's early days of VXT. So it's going to be interesting to see where they go from here.
I agree. But either way, I think anyone that lives in Louisville, Kentucky, needs to get their backsides down to these shows because you got 2 nights TV tapings. It's going to be a fantastic. It's going to be a fantastic 2 nights. Right. Okay. So then we have. But there you go. We then obviously got last week. We got Killer Kelly was revealed in a cool vignette to be coming to Impact. Later during an interview, it was revealed she had actually signed 2 years ago, but due to visa issues and health issues, obviously it was all delayed. Now, she had a bit of breathing problem with her nose. She revealed on the show that her nose is still currently broken. It's healing, but it's still broken at the moment, and but she can now breathe, which is fantastic news. And also that obviously she was having visa issues. So I remember that when we first saw her, we were like, literally, Impact need to sign this girl now.
Yeah.
Like it seems that they did.
It turns out they actually did.
Yes,
Killer Kelly confirmed that she's been signed since 2020.
There you go. So
and it's all down to COVID and all down to that this has not happened. That must have been so frustrating for her because when I found out, I was furious. It's just what a shame! What an absolute shame! It couldn't. They had to come to that.
Yeah, she has. So, Larry Bongo saying that she's changed a bit. Yeah, she has. She's changed her look a little bit. I'm going to be interested to see what gear she comes out with because I think she was very sort of kind of like what I said, very minimalistic. She
MMA
wore like
sort of look.
MMA singlet type style, short boots, very much like Kurt Angle. And we've always said from the start that she gives you like Kurt Angle vibes when she comes out to the ring. The way that she comes out, the way that she enters the ring, she just has, and her style of wrestling is very much like the legend Kurt Angle. So if Killer Kelly is anything or is as good as I hope she's going to be, I'm very, very excited to see where she's going to go when she fully arrives on Impact Wrestling. What do you think on that, Steve?
Yeah, like you say, it's going to be interesting to see what they do with her because we were really expecting them to do with Killer Kelly what they've done with Josh Alexander. And it's going to be interesting to see if they now go down the same route because obviously there's no way she's completely changed her wrestling style. So what do they now do with her character? So it's going to be and it said coming soon, and we don't know how soon we don't know how soon this is, do we?
Yeah, but the one I think she might turn up on at Emergence or something like that.
You would think so.
I think it's going to be a live appearance. I think they'll tease her. They'll keep doing vignettes or whatever for another month or so, and then boom. Because that also just gives her that little bit extra time.
Yeah. She'll be coming for Masha Samovich or for Jordynne Grace.
And yes, Violet, she did. That was her who teamed with Renee Michelle.
That's right. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
So yeah, Renee was also the tall one, and she was a little short. The one that impressed us the most, I think. Even though we not to say that we weren't impressed with Renee as well, because we were.
Oh yeah.
In fact, we had her on the show, if you remember.
Yeah. We were calling for her at one point to team with Giselle, weren't we?
Exactly. We felt that Renee Michelle and Giselle would be a really good tag team. But there you go. We just have to wait and see. You never know because it's not like Renee's not been on a few times. She's been, so we'll have to see how that goes. But yeah, that's right. That is who she tagged with when she came in. But like I said, Killer Kelly was a standout. I think of those kind of like group of that came in at that time.
Yeah,
I think she was the one that stood out the most. Can I just apologise if I sound a little bit croaky today? I think my voice still hasn't recovered from Sunday fully. So just to let you know, if I sound a little bit croaky, that's why.
I can turn it on anytime, Pat. Come on, no problem.
I'm doing it. Anyway, it's been speculated by Fightful that the Good Brothers will be staying past their current contract, which I think was supposed to end on the 17th. So we're only a few days away from that. To at least the end of the summer, slating ongoing contract negotiations. So I think it's one of those, well, let's extend you, let's continue talking about it, let's see where we go with it. I'm thinking that we might actually see a almost like one of the first joint type contracts, which is sort of kind of be a joint between New Japan and Impact, so that they can sort of kind of almost share the burden of the cost of them, if that makes sense. So I can fully imagine that those boys are asking for big money.
Yeah, like I say, that's where they wanted. New Japan was a big part of their original deal, but obviously due to the, when they came in, the pandemic hit, they never really got to hit Japan, did they? So it's only now starting to open. So you do feel that would be a good idea to kind of cross promote that contract. So New Japan is the only other place I could see them going. And obviously Impact have a great relationship with New Japan. So why wouldn't they stick around with Impact as well? Yeah,
exactly. Any idea what Zach's talking about? Have I missed something?
I've not seen the message. I'm looking at the YouTube. I'm only following the YouTube chat. So
okay, fair enough. But it's all on there. So interesting what you're saying there, James, as well. Do they deserve the big money?
We came here for a lot of money.
I think they do, to be honest. I don't necessarily think they are, like millions and millions of pounds, but I think, at the end of the day, I think they're certainly worth a few quid. That's for sure. I mean, they get out there as long as they're doing all the promo stuff. They're getting involved in all that side of things. As long as they're helping put people over and stuff, I'm all for them staying with the company.
Put it this way, they do a lot of stuff for Impact.
I think they do behind the scenes as well.
Yeah, I think they
there's
do
a lot of things that we don't see.
Yeah. They do more for Impact than people actually give them credit for.
Yeah.
People only see what they see on the TV screen. They do more stuff away from the screen than people actually give them credit for.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. And I think, they have, I'm pretty sure that, them, not just Scott. I mean, obviously Scott, Don, and then obviously the Good Brothers as well were probably a big part of recreating this New Japan pro wrestling friendship that they've got again now. So,
definitely.
would I be that bothered if I didn't see them on TV every week? No, probably not. Because we have got such great talent that I'm fully invested in anyway. But I do like what they do. The recent feud with the Briscoes, when they went to the chicken farm and all that kind of stuff was great. That was thoroughly entertaining stuff. So there's lots of things, there's a lot of good stuff that they do, but I don't know. It's very difficult to say whether they're worth the money. Because we don't really know everything that they do.
No, I like that they're carrying on the rivalry with Honor No More still, especially with Taven and Mike Bennett, because I can see them taking the belts off of them before their contract's up.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think that's where they're heading with it. I think that's where a lot of people think that.
Yeah, but I do hope that if they carry on, it's like you said, a split deal between New Japan and Impact Wrestling, because they can still go to AEW as well, because New Japan Wrestling works well with AEW as well. So,
and there's no issue, is there? People can go cross promote. It's not a big deal anymore.
Yeah, both Impact Wrestling and AEW and New Japan, so all three of them, they allow you to work wherever as long as you don't screw around their schedule too much, a bit like AAA. So all three companies I've got that open door policy. So which just proves that the forbidden door is a load of bollocks, Tony.
Exactly, yeah. Can I just say a quick hello to John Rosado? I think John is possibly a new person, maybe?
Yeah,
I might be
hello.
wrong.
Welcome.
I don't recognise the name. Maybe it's just the first time that you've said anything, but it's great to see you love Impact Wrestling. That's why we're all here. We love the brand. We love pro wrestling as a whole, but we certainly love Impact Wrestling, which is why we're here. So yeah, fantastic. Now, Impact have also released more classic episodes onto the Impact Plus app. This Thursday, they will release all the episodes of the month of April 2008. So, quite a few hours worth of wrestling to be watching there, which is quite cool. I guess what they're doing at the moment, they're trying to push the Impact Plus app again. By giving us some new stuff. I know that I think it's every week they're releasing a month or something. Another month's worth of shows. So like I say, this week's April. Then I think the following week is May, etc., etc. So yeah, I think that's I think this is really cool, and I will certainly be checking some of those out because I remember 2008 was one of my. Well, I started watching 2007. So it was 07, 08, 09. I got a bit more disillusioned when we started to get to the Hogan era. But that stuff, that sort of 8 and 9, even I suppose even 2010, fantastic years for Impact Wrestling.
Definitely.
Fantastic years. Yes, John's new. Well,
Awesome.
welcome, John. Thanks for joining us, buddy. I really, really appreciate it. Now, also...
Oh, baby!
Wrestling Revolver announced record attendance for that Cage of Horror show. Now, we didn't get to see it this weekend because obviously we needed to get up early to go to our show ourselves on the Sunday because this would have been like 1 o'clock in the morning. But it was on this past Saturday. The Death Machine states that it's only going to get bigger. So this is only the beginning. So exciting times for Wrestling Revolver. I don't know if did you see the pictures? It certainly looked like they had a pretty good. They had a pretty packed house. Did you guys see any of that or not?
I saw the news from Sammy Callahan about the big turnout and how much he appreciates it. So, I've not seen anything else yet.
It was incredible. I mean, the picture was incredible.
Computer.
The dogs, Sammy's pulled you out. Are you back in? Are you back in from the void, brother? No, I take it not. I think you might have to unmute yourself now.
No, I had the volume turned down on the computer, so I could because it's. Sorry, where were we?
Apologies, I don't know.
The dog pulled the thing out and went into the chair that the computer sat on and yanked the thing up with his tail.
I am completely lost, mate.
Last time I saw you was pre-cell phone era.
Yeah, talking about Johnny's finger. No, we'll talk about that in a bit. So anyway, so it looks like Wrestling Revolver are, doing well. The attendances are going up, and they're getting more and more packed shows. I saw a few highlights here and there. It looked like it was a pretty damn good show. So at some point, I'm going to try and watch that in the next sort of week or so.
Yeah.
Because as you know, I'm definitely turning into a Wrestling Revolver fan. They are like my second favorite promotion right now. But there you go. Can I just say a quick happy birthday to Impact wrestler Aiden Prince? And a huge happy birthday to friend of the show, Mr. Born to Die himself, Jake Christ. Yes, happy birthday, brother.
Happy birthday.
Love you, Jake.
Guys, love you, man. And have you seen how good he's looking these days?
Yeah.
It's like Jake Christ is literally in the best shape of his career right now. And I'm sorry, Scott D'Amore, you need to be checking this boy out again. Imagine what you like. We've had him on before, and he's been amazing on the show. But now he's in like the best shape of his life. Now you're going to get the best of Jake Christ. You need to get him on the show now.
Yeah, I mean, you could say that.
You could, and you know what? He is exactly. He's right, 100% right, 100% right. I did actually speak to Rosemary in the interview. I did ask her about how they communicate. I said, obviously, myself and Taurus speak fluent bull, so it's not a big issue. But apparently, Havoc is a big help in that department. Apparently, because she's able to speak Wastelander, because apparently that's what he speaks, Wastelander. So there you go. So
Rosemary tried not to laugh at it as well.
yeah, she did. When we were talking about that fluent bull. But yeah, so Anna watched the Revolver show. She said it was so good. Oh, that's fantastic. I'm a massive fan of Revolver. Anyone, when they come through, they sort of come through about every 4 or 5 weeks. You get a Revolver show. They turn up on Fight. If you're not able to attend, you've got to get it, man. You've got to get it. It's they're great shows. Also, apparently, it's a happy 50th birthday to Sean Waltman, the X-Pac himself.
Jake Christ even mentioned that. He's shocked that he shares his birthday with someone as awesome as X-Pac.
There you go. That's pretty cool. And I believe it's Courtney's birthday as well. Is that right?
Yes, I'll be giving her a full-fledged shout-out before we sign off. But today is also Courtney's birthday. She'll be
happy birthday to Courtney.
And a shout out to Gary Ward's daughter Ava. Happy birthday to you two from yesterday.
Exactly. There you go. So
she got a huge ovation on Sunday, guys.
That was amazing.
Yeah. The entire Wrestle Carnival audience sang happy birthday to her, and the cutest thing ever was when she said thank you at the end.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Now, quickly moving on before we get to Wrestle Carnival stuff, which is a couple of the items down. We got Chicago ticket sales are pretty damn good for both shows. Almost sold out of the floor seating now for Emergence and the following day, which is was it 2 City Slam or something. So looking good, and we've still got, like you say, almost a month to go. So I think this show's going to be absolutely jam packed, and I'm very excited to be there. So I think that's good news. Also, I noticed that some ticket sales for some of the other tapings seem to be going fairly well too. So that's really good to see.
Yeah, momentum has just picked up rapidly since Under Siege.
It definitely has. And like for this weekend coming up with the Derby City, was it Derby City Showdown or Slam Down or whatever it's going to be?
Derby City Showdown.
Yeah. That's it, Showdown. We've had Josh Alexander and Jordynne Grace this past weekend. Went on a media blitz in the Kentucky area. They were on local TV, local radio stations, all the things that we've been talking about. They're starting to do, which is absolutely fantastic. And I'm not saying that that's because we've been talking about it. I'm just saying it's great to see because these are the things that we've wanted to see them do. So I think that's fantastic. Great to see. Now, also, I want to talk about this past week on Impact between Trey Miguel and Laredo Kid. What a match that was. We had some great in-ring storytelling, especially with the whole leg thing going on with Trey Miguel. What did you think of this match, guys? Because I thought this match was really, really strong.
I love this match!
Yes, we love this match. It was a great match. And again, Trey Miguel just absolutely smashing it. And again, Laredo Kid doing what he does just so well. I thought, like I said, the storytelling, the psychology, the in-ring psychology was fantastic for this match. So I think we're all in agreement, right?
Yeah. Trey Miguel, that one-legged moonsault. That was amazing, and you could tell his leg was sort of really, really battered throughout the match after that war with Mike Bailey. It was just amazing to see how he kept going, almost completely handicapped, and Laredo Kid tried just to keep it as clean as possible for a very long time, and then after the commercial break, it's like everything went out the window. Let Laredo Kid then targeting his leg and trying to break his leg and everything. Yeah, it was a fantastic performance from both of them. I'm sad to see that Laredo Kid lost, but Trey Miguel's the guy in Impact Wrestling, so he's going to get the win.
Yeah, it was a fantastic match, and I can only echo what a few people are just saying now in the chat there that it was an awesome match. The Radio Kid is a great wrestler. It would be good for him to win occasionally, I must admit. But I think he has won a few recently. He won a couple here and there.
Yeah, his last victory was against Black Taurus.
He's won the odd one, hasn't he? Recently.
He does win the odd one here and there, but I mean, unless you're going to push the guy, I suppose at the end of the day, if you're pushing Trey or whatever, then he's going to be the man that gets over, isn't he, at the end of the
Yeah.
day?
Yeah.
Again, I think you're right, James. We've spoke about this several times. I think at this set of tapings, we're going to see that his gear is going to go more black and white than red and white. So
He's
I
getting
think
darker.
it's
definitely.
like a gradual change from Spider to Venom. Which I think is going to be really, really cool.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to happen. Definitely, 100%. That's going to happen. And I'd like to see it because I think you make a really good heel.
Yeah. I don't recall him being heel before.
No, he's never been
He's
heel.
always been face. Always
Yeah.
been face. So it's going to be good to see if he can carry it off.
Susie Rascal.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you, Susie.
But it's all good. Now, guys, we've got there. This past weekend, the boys and I met up for the first time at Wrestle Carnival show in Coventry, and we had a blast. We even met a few of the TNI fan base too, which we really sort of kind of topped off a great afternoon watching Eric Young, Charles Crowley, friend of the show, Scotty Too Hottie, Robbie X, Lana Austin, and of course, friend of the show, Becca, who we only had on a couple of weeks ago. We actually got to see her wrestle and win. She beat Lana, so she's got a debut in winning style, which was fantastic for her. And Boomer Bison had a bit of a to and throw with Lana, which was quite good.
Oh, Boomer Bison was on fire. Fire with Lana Austin. That was brilliant.
She was on fire.
You just don't mess with the Boomer.
No, don't mess with Boomer. She was all over that. She was all over it. But it was a fantastic weekend. Like I said, we got to meet a few different people as well. We got to meet. Is it? I've got. What's his name now? I've forgotten now. Is it James Impact? No, Craig Impact. Craig Impact. We got to meet Craig Impact from the Talking Nonsense About Impact podcast. It was great to see him, and I know he's a frequent listener and watcher of the show, so that was fantastic. We got to see a couple of other guys as well, and I'm really sorry, but I've forgotten the guy's name that was wearing the t-shirt.
It was Joseph, wasn't it?
Was it Joseph? Joseph?
I think so.
It might have been.
I only got the selfie. I never got his name.
Yeah, I think it was Joseph. I think it was Joseph. So, who's an avid fan. He even turned up to the show wearing his Total Nonstop Impact United Kingdom logo shirt, which was fantastic. And he told us that the only reason he went was because we basically recommended the show. So, how cool is that? So, there you go. Gary, you're welcome. So that was great. So we all sat front row. We had a great show. Awesome. And I want to say Eric Young, what a true professional.
Yeah, I want to say thank you to Eric Young. Met him, shook his hand twice, got an autograph from him, and I even got his wrist tape come off and whack me in the face.
Yeah, that was fun.
Just to prove it to you guys, it is right here.
There you go. I told you should have got him to sign it. Fantastic. But we had some great interaction. There's one thing that you can't beat with the independent stuff, and I'm not so much sure if it's so much in the US. I've been to an independent show in the US, but certainly over here, we don't have the barriers. So you got the seats all around the ring, so you get quite an interaction with the match with the wrestlers. And of course, we had Charles Crowley was sat on Boomer's seat and then had his face kicked off, which was interesting by Axel, the Axeman. Which was great. We had Lana getting involved, stealing Bison's hat and stamping on it. That was interesting, and obviously her confrontation with Boomer, which was good. You would have loved it, guys, if you'd have come up to see Lana afterwards, and she was giving Lana a load of beef at the Simon stand about stamping on her dad's hat. She wasn't impressed.
Yeah.
She wasn't impressed with that at all. But that was quite funny. And but I'll tell you what, one of the standouts for me was probably as much as Charles Crowley was always amazing. He fought twice on the card. The opening match against Scotty Too Hottie, and then again later in the main event versus Axel Tischler, the Axeman. I think was he called Alexander Wolf or something like that on WWE or NXT or whatever. I think it was. I think that was what he was called on there. Yeah. So that was really good, and actually it was a cracking main event as well. It was really good. really, really good. But Darius, I think, who EY basically put over was fantastic. That match was fantastic.
He is Scott Garland said that he is one of the future of the whole industry. He was absolutely incredible.
Oh, he was so good, Darius. So
Yeah.
good. So I would say, that's someone to look out with because he was on fire, as they like to say. So that was good. And for me, Robbie X. For me, the best match of the night was Robbie X versus Leon Slater. That match was absolutely outstanding. And I wish I knew what pissed off Robbie, actually, because there was just a lot of people that weren't there. Just before the match really sort of got going, somebody made a comment in the crowd which he took offense to. Literally stood up on the rope and called the guy out, but I didn't hear what was actually said, so I don't know what it was. But he called the guy out and just basically said, "That's inappropriate. I don't want to hear it again. Shut your face." Basically.
Yeah,
and then
they were set behind me, but I didn't hear. I couldn't hear them because I could hear the fans going bloody mental over the match.
Yeah, they were all having a go at him. Yeah, but they were having a go at that guy as well. Like, because it was whatever it was obviously bang out of order.
Yeah, because they both had a go at him, didn't they? Both the wrestlers in the ring. They both popped at him.
Yeah, he was like, don't. I love the fact that Leon was like, please don't piss this guy off.
Yeah, but credit to him, credit.
It was a hell of a match.
To him. Yeah,
it was a hell of a match, and I'll tell you what, if it gets released on YouTube or anything like that, I'm gonna make sure I share it because it was a hell of a match. And I'll tell you what, this Robbie X, 26 years old. He calls himself the best cruiserweight in the world, and I ain't gonna argue with him. He was damn good, damn good.
Yeah.
So Robbie X, look him up if you don't know, never heard of him. Go and check him out. He is on he is on Twitter, and it is at Robbie-X, I think. So, but just put a search in for Robbie X. Go and check this guy out because I'm telling you. He is damn good. The same with Darius as well. I'm not sure what his is, but I might look it up and put it in the description later. Or Steve, if you want to do that. He is really good, and they put him over at the end as well. Scotty Too Hot, he put him over. I think he was being put over big time as a whole. Really, really good. No. I don't think Robbie X was. There wasn't a Robbie X in World of Sport, unless you're talking about the recently. Let's talk about the recent World of Sport.
The recent one he was in, and that's where I first saw him. I mean, even in that, he was absolutely incredible.
He is good, man.
It being a hugely toned down show on ITV1, but he was incredible in that, and just to see him completely unleashed on the independent scene. Oh my God. I can't wait to see what he does when he goes up against Ace Austin.
He's amazing. Yeah, he is. We put it out there the other day. He's definitely he's got a match against Ace Austin. And where is it, Joe? Do you remember? It's up north somewhere, isn't it?
It's down in London, I think.
Is it? Oh,
no,
I'll go and see it.
It is in. No, it's not in London. I think it is.
I thought it was up north, like Dunthorpe or something, Scunthorpe or somewhere like that. I thought.
It is somewhere up north. I can't remember where. I think it might be somewhere in Yorkshire. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's definitely up north. It's 100% up north.
They have got a show coming in London. I just got that mixed up with this one, but it's a different promotion. It's in Yorkshire.
Yeah, but I have to say I don't want to take anything away from all the other fantastic talents on the card because I'm just saying that for me. That Robbie X Leon Slater match was amazing, and Darius
Jetta's match was amazing too. To go through that with a broken nose afterwards was amazing.
Yeah, I mean you had Jetta versus Charlie Morgan. That was she ended up kind of smashing her nose. Poor old Jetta, but she ends up winning the interim Queen of the Carnival title, which was really good. So yeah, Larry, they loved him, did they? Yeah, I bet they did. He's good, man. He's really, really good. Scott DeVore needs to take a look at that guy. But yeah, really good. And of course, Robbie X. I mean, come on. The guy needs to be in the X division, surely. But there you go. So yeah, so really, really good weekend. We really had a good time, and it was great to meet a few fans of the show, TNI Tribe family, which was great. But yeah, definitely worth going and checking these guys out. There you go. We've just popped it in the chat there for you. Look, Twitter for Dyrese. Go and check him out. He is a badass dude. And I have a funny feeling the Leon Slater is actually his tag team partner.
Yes, he is.
So
Yeah,
there you go. Leon Slater is damn good as well. So there was some really good stuff on this show. And of course, they also crowned the Pure Champion. Chris Ridgway was on the show.
He's incredible. That was an incredible match too.
That was a good match as well. He's all business. That dude is all business.
Yeah.
But it was good. Anyway, it was great to finish as well with old Scotty Too Hotty giving us the worm in the end, and of course the Too Cool dance.
That was an awesome way to finish. It really was.
Yeah, it was great. It was good fun. A lot of nostalgia. The crowd was totally into the show from top to bottom. They loved everything. There's something to say about British crowds, right? Is they really understand the pantomime mentality of wrestling.
Oh yeah,
that's why Charles Crowley's so over.
Yes, they get the whole bad guy versus good guy. They get it. They understand all of that. You know, Charles Crowley, Jesus Christ, he you know, like his heat. He's just a heat magnet. Top to bottom, he turns up. He's a heat magnet. So yeah, so it's gonna be really, you know, interesting to see, you know, how much further some of these guys go, because they really are good.
Charles Crowley is going to be in Toronto in September.
Is he really? Where?
Yeah.
What show's that?
It is. I'll just quickly go through my phone.
But yeah, no, you're right. You know, the old kind of James I'm talking to at the minute. James in the chat there. You know, I think that's what it is about. I don't know what it is. The British crowds really understand the whole, you know, who to boo and who to cheer, and you know, they get right into it, and we get chants going, and you know, loads of like, you know, fun. We have a lot of fun.
I got it here. Charles Crowley will be in Smash Wrestling International Fight Night on September the 18th.
Wow.
Nice.
Guys, any Canadian fans watching or listening, be ready for the spectacular track, because he is the master trickster, and he is one of the best wrestlers I've ever seen on TV or on that. Now I can say finally, now in person.
Yeah, he was good.
Absolutely amazing.
He is good. But you know, and this is the thing. Not only has he got great character work, he totally gets heels. He totally gets what being a heel is all about, and he's actually really good in the ring as well. So you know, he's not all about drawing that heat. He's actually really, really good. So yeah, go and check out Charles out as well. I know we've had him on the show. You know, so it's all good. And Larry's like, it says you hear a lot more laughter in the British wrestling crowd as well. Yes, you do, because they understand. And like I said, we get the campness of it as well. We get that camp humor, that we understand it, and that's why we love it so much, and why we come away with a smile on our face no matter what. So there you go. That's how we feel. Now, last week's Impact saw EY not happy with Dina and Big Joe. What are your guys thinking is going down with VBD at the moment? Do you think we might see some new members, or you know, a slight change of something? I don't know. What are your thoughts?
For me, it would be a bit. It'd feel a bit pointless going back to EY on his own, just because, like, been there, done it kind of thing, and also I don't know what EY on his own would kind of do. Like, I would love to see Dina get a run on his own, and obviously we know to a degree what the situation with Doring is. So I think it would be good to have a new a new version of VBD. We were kind of talking about this with maybe the former Sanity members in what Madman Fulton was. You know, maybe he's due a return, and obviously the Axel in, you know, he was a former member as well. Maybe we see him come over.
Yeah,
but I think there is a possibility that we see a new version line up somehow.
I have a funny feeling that's going to happen, yeah, because I think, I have a funny feeling Joe's on his way, because there is rumours that he's heading back to Japan for several months. So if Joe's going to be gone, then that takes it down to Dina. I don't think Dina's going. I think Dina will still be part of it.
Yeah. He's producing as well, isn't he?
Yeah, but I think Joe's going off to Japan, so he's going to need to replace him with somebody. Yeah. Madman Fulton kind of fits the bill. Which could be a good return for him. And like you say, maybe we could see Axel turn up as well. Axel Tischler. You never know. Like I say, former, I think it's Alexander Wolf. I'm sure that's what he was.
Yeah.
So, who knows? I think that's what we're looking at. I think we're looking at a renewed membership of some sort. I think
Definitely.
But anyway, so Tom, AEW, Jesus Christ, what's the matter with you? No, I'm only joking, buddy. Mate, at the end of the day, pro wrestling is pro wrestling. You get yourself to whichever show you want and go and support whoever it is that you want. Lucha Brothers are a badass team. I wish they'd stayed with Impact though. But there you go.
Yeah.
So,
likewise, I think we'll all miss Joe.
I think we will. I'll tell you, we'll miss Joe the most though, and that'll be Front Row Bill.
Yeah,
he will miss them, man. He will miss them big time.
When we wrestle Carnival, Joseph was saying that we needed the sign when EY came out, the big Joe head.
We did. We needed the big Joe head. Damn it, we never thought about that. But there you go. So fantastic stuff, guys. Fantastic stuff. Now that's pretty much all we got in there for the recap of the week and different news items that have been going on. It's not been a massively heavy news week, so all we've really heard is sort of there was a little bit with Jordan, a little bit with the Good Brothers is pretty much it. A few birthdays, it's not anything massive really, but we managed to make a good hour's worth. So about 52 minutes worth.
Biggest news happened on Sunday, and sadly that's not Impact related.
No, that's true. Right, so let's have a look at the digital media exclusive match for this week. And again, this is a match that I could not recommend them, enough going to check out. It's Trey Miguel versus Alex Shelley. It was at Wrestling Revolver the Stranger Things pay-per-view. And there's a great heel turn from Shelley at the end. But you get I think it's a good sort of 17 and a half minutes of match, or 17 minutes of match, and then about a couple of minutes at the end of a heel turn with Alex Shelley. It's a great match. If you didn't see the Stranger Things pay-per-view from Wrestling Revolver, again, I recommend you get your backside on Fight. You check it out because it is bloody good. If not, and you've got Impact Plus or Ultimate Insider on YouTube, go and check this match out because it's very, very good. And can I just say, Larry Bongo, I agree. He is a very old school style wrestler, very dead. Yeah. And his off the ropes crossbody is the best I've ever seen. I love it. So yeah, good match. Really enjoyed it. Have you boys actually seen it or not?
Yes, I saw it live and I watched it again before we got started today. And Trey Miguel in this match was amazing. This is when you really got to see he's gone from just being a high flying wrestler and really now showing off his technical prowess and everything. And Alex Shelley is also one of the guys who taught him, so that really showed through. And if this is also where we've finally got to see that heel mode from Alex Shelley start to seep through. At the end of the match, he just snapped. It was literally, this was meant to be the first time Trey and Alex Shelley were going to go head to head. But literally the night before, he just lost to Trey Miguel in that qualifying match for Slammiversary.
That's right. Yeah,
so,
that's right.
And Alex Shelley was just fuming after that, and he just went over the top. This match was amazing, though. Trey Miguel was fantastic, and he's carrying on that momentum he built up from that match through
Yes.
through now.
Yeah, I think we could safely say, Steve, I don't know if you agree with this or not, but there's very rarely a bad match with Trey Miguel now. If you get if you get a one-on-one match with Trey Miguel, I mean, we always seem to, when we get the multi-man matches, are always pretty good because they've always got 2 or 3 really good guys, regardless. But I'm talking about Trey Miguel now on his own, singles competitor. He has bangers with everybody now, doesn't he?
He's starting to become Mr. Reliable, isn't he?
Yes, everything he does is so crisp.
Yeah,
So
and I
crisp.
think that's why he's starting to get put in the positions he's in, because they know they can rely on him for those matches.
Yeah, I agree. Like, you can go, right, you know, we'll put Trey with so and so. It's going to be a banger. Boom, off you go. You know, you'll be starting the show with this bad boy. I think, you know, he's again, I agree, James. He made the best decision coming back to Impact Wrestling. I mean, even like you say, now he's really working on his character. You know, his gear is great.
Yeah.
His ring gear is amazing.
Yeah, and with his character, he's developed his style as well.
Exactly, he's developing all the time. I love the fact that he changed. I'm going to be interested. You know, we were talking about earlier, and I said that he's gradually turning into Venom. So he's gradually turning into this heel, right? So a couple of weeks ago, I think maybe 2 weeks ago, he started wearing these piercing blue contact lenses. Have you noticed that? Right.
Yeah.
So he's got these piercing blue contact lenses with the red and white gear. So at the moment, he's Spider-Man, right? That's what he is at the moment. Now, and I'm thinking that all of that's going to change. So eventually, when he turns full Venom, he'll be going with the whole white eye thing.
Yeah.
Like, his eyes will change. Everything.
They've gone to red now, and that it's slowly going to get evoler and eviler and eviler.
Exactly. He's going to get more healy. Those are like just the little nuances, the little things that make a big difference. But the piercing blue ones looked amazing.
Oh, they did, yeah. And they're starting to also alter his finisher, like to make the Meteora something where he can hit from nowhere. And it's going to be one of those things where he'll then start to have that finisher where he will hit it from nowhere, and then maybe develop a finisher where he'll then break something else out of the bag where no one is even thinking, oh, what on earth is this move?
Oh, look at that. Wrestling Fan 78 is trying to wind me up. There you go. Welcome to the show, buddy. And it's good to see you. Now, you know, and I agree with James. You know, sometimes you think Trey Miguel is a reason to turn the show on because he is so good. So there you go. Now, we've got BTI as well. We got the BTI match of Johnny Swinger versus Perpinda Gujar. That's going to be interesting, and I like the way that I like how they're pushing Bupinda. Actually, I think he's still got a little bit of work. His promo work is reminding me a little bit of Shearer when he first came in. I think you know what I'm talking about, right?
Isn't Odark because he's also owes my money?
Yeah, do you see what I'm saying? A little bit.
It's a lot more smoother than Shearer. He's really, really settled into everything in Impact Wrestling really quickly, and he's just been absolutely amazing. His whole goal is to break down the stereotype that Indian wrestlers have been given over the years, especially by up north. And you know, he's just shown that they're more than just a big tough guy that can do big moves or someone that's there to be a punching bag. And his charisma is slowly getting better. He's not throwing himself out there 100% straight away.
Well, I totally agree with this guy.
Yeah, 100%.
We don't want to start doing this.
Yeah, we just don't want this. We just don't want the shuffle.
That was terrible. Hello, Courtney, my dear. Lovely to see you in the house. Happy birthday, by the way.
Happy birthday for tomorrow.
Thank you very much for the super sticker.
Oh, and a super sticker. Look at that. Fantastic
Susie just come in to say hi too, and now it's time yes.
Susie heard Courtney was in the house, and now she's there. Look at that. Hey, Bonkers. Look at you. All these guys know Courtney. Bless her. Bless her soul.
Yeah, you bring the audience.
Exactly. So it's going to be interesting to see how this one pans out. I'm pretty sure this is going to be a nice win for Gujar. But who knows? Sticky Rice might get involved. You never know, and cause an upset, or maybe Raj Rashira will turn up and screw him over. You never know, do you?
Yeah, it could be a bit, a way to prolong him to that title.
Yeah, exactly. You just don't know, do you? And then, of course, we move into Impact for the night, and we've got five great matches for tomorrow night's Impact Wrestling. So we've got Chelsea Green versus Mickie James. Now, it's interesting because we haven't seen Mickie for a little while, and there's a lot of people saying, "Oh, Mickey's gone. She was only in for a little bit." But I think you find that Mickie James is now, her not preferred. What am I trying to say? Her preference wrestling or priorities is Impact's knockouts. Don't get me wrong; she's obviously got stuff to do with NWA, but I think you see her more on Impact than you do anywhere else, which is great. I'm a big Mickie fan, as everybody knows, and of course, it's a bit like Chelsea Green, sort of kind of. I don't know. She's sort of kind of like the future, I guess, and Mickie James the past. I don't know. You sort of kind of got this mix of future and past going on here, which I think is interesting. I think it's going to be a really good match. Both great wrestlers, so why wouldn't it be a great match? So I'm looking forward to that one. Definitely. What about you, Steve? What do you think?
Yeah, like you say, it's interesting how far this feud goes back, and it's a case of, well, does Mickie win and that ends it? Or you can really see, I think you can really see Deonna getting involved here, because that's an easy way to prolong it.
Yes.
If anybody gets involved in this match, like with Deonna Purrazzo and Mia Yim's match, if anyone got involved in that match, they would have been suspended or terminated from the company.
Oh,
okay. This match, nobody's allowed to ringside either, and if anyone interferes, the same thing comes in there. Gail Kim's made sure this is one-on-one. And there's a clear-cut winner and loser in this match, which is one of the reasons why Deonna Purrazzo's match was so good, because nobody else could have got involved and fucked it up. And so the anyone who would have got involved with the Matthew Ray on commentary. So that's what we're going to. That's the only difference we're going to get in this match now with Mickie James and Chelsea Green. Is Matthew Ray trying to put Mickie James down on commentary. Like, wouldn't surprise me if she just gets up and whacks him across the face to shut him up.
It's going to be an absolute slobber knocker, though. I think it's going to be a good match. That's going to be good.
It's going to be great for Chelsea Green, because she's a great wrestler, but she's not had enough matches to really show how good she is. So this is going to be really good for her.
Definitely.
Well, I think without any shadow of a doubt, this is going to be a serious hardcore country match.
Hardcore country.
Yeah.
Sammy thinks it's going to be hardcore, Sammy.
We got it in there. There. Oh, another. Oh, look at that. A $2
And
happy birthday to Courtney from Anna. Lovely. Thank you. We really appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Something sinister about that, ain't there?
Yeah, exactly.
Sinister.
Very, very cool. Very, very cool. So looking good. We've then got Steve Macklin versus James Storm. One of my all-time favourites in James Storm there versus one of my up-and-coming favourites of Steve Macklin. I think this is going to be a great match as well. I think this is a match to put Steve over again. But either way, we're going to get some classic Cowboy. I think we're going to get some classic Cowboy.
I was very interested in why Storm was looking for Moose.
Wasn't that something to do? Oh, I don't know. I'm not sure. Did Moose get involved in something?
I think Moose is the guy who sent Storm packing last, I think, or something like that.
Yes, he was back at Slammiversary, wasn't he?
Yeah.
That was it. Yeah.
So James Storm wanted a bit of revenge then. But I think we're going to see Sammy get involved in this match with Steve Macklin and James Storm.
I agree with that. Because now, obviously, he's going to be pissed, isn't he? Sammy, what's up?
Yeah.
What's up,
He's seeing himself reflecting on my PC monitor, which is fine.
It's also intriguing as well, like as to why Macklin was in Moose's dressing room. You know, do they have a coherence or anything, or you know what's going on there?
Yeah, what's going on? What's going on?
But no, this would be a great match. I mean, you got the whiskey drinker and you got the cowboy.
Yeah, the beer drinker versus the whiskey drinker. Going to be interesting how it all pans out. I think either way, it's great to see James Storm back in a match 1-on-1, and again with someone who is so badass as Steve Macklin.
Yeah.
So that's great to see.
Yeah, it was like
We then have, for me, which is probably going to be the match of the night. That is the Masha Slamovich destruction of Tennille Dashwood. I think this is going to be an absolute slobber knot. It's going to be over in about 35 seconds. And Masha's going to kill Tennille.
This is sick. This is sick. This whole place is going to hell in a handbasket.
That's what we need. We need lots of sickness. Yeah, we want to be down with the sickness. That's what we want. I think it is. It's definitely going to be one of them squashes. Or are the rest of the influence going to get involved? And are we going to get a 3-on-1?
Maybe. You never know. Something's going to happen. I think that Madison Rain's going to try and get Giselle Straw in the firing line one way or another, because she's been saying she's been ducking Masha Slamovich, and you know, Alessia Edwards took the flak because Giselle Straw just happened to not be there. So something's going on.
Something's definitely going down.
The whole build up to this last week between Tennille Dashwood and Madison Rain losing their shit over it was just really, really funny. So I'm just looking forward to seeing what your reaction is next week with Bison. And Tennille Dashwood's laid out on the floor, and there's the big chalk line around her. So
I think I'll be taking photos. That's what I think I'll be doing.
The interesting thing is, though, that if Tennille does get taken out, taken out, then that kind of leaves the influence in a dead end, because Madison can't wrestle. Tennille, you assume, would be written off in some way, and now it's just Giselle.
Yeah, exactly.
So, you've kind of then decimated your tag team division.
Giselle Shaw can use that to her advantage. She can still try and keep prodding at Madison Rain that you need me now, because Tennille Dashwood can't get the job done.
Yeah,
so, exactly.
Yeah.
But we've got. I mean, look in the in the chat there. I mean, you know, we've got next Bike One, who is new. I think is saying that he thinks Tennille Dashwood's going to win.
To be honest,
maybe she will.
I hope so, and I agree with Larry. I really hope that it lasts longer than 5 minutes, because Masha needs a longer match.
I'd like it to last 5 minutes. To be fair, I mean they don't even last a minute, do they?
Well, yeah, true.
5 minutes would be a bonus, to be honest. But no, I get what you're saying, Larry. I mean, at the end of the day, it would be good to see Masha actually do more than just a couple of power moves and 1, 2, 3 is over. Definitely. So we then also got advertised BBD versus Josh Alexander and the Motor City Machine Guns. Again, Motor City Machine Guns, Josh Alexander, Eric Young, Joe Doran, Diener. It's going to be great, right?
Oh yeah,
it's going to be fire.
It's gonna be fire. Yeah, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be. I think that's gonna be a fantastic match, and I can't wait to see these guys get involved. I think Eric Young, obviously versus Josh Alexander thing going on. I mean, they're still not happy about any of that stuff. And then you've got like the tag team of Motor City Machine Guns, one of the best tag teams ever. Going up against the BBD boys as well, Dina and Joe. I think this is going to be hard-hitting and very fast-paced.
There's a lot of moving parts in this, isn't there? I mean, EY is going to be very interesting to watch in this. His actions are going to be intriguing. And I think Shelley's going to be interesting to watch as well. Especially as we know the arrival of Kushida and their Time Splitters team. He was very pushing to get them back together for a long while, and now that he is back, he is turning up at the Derby City Rumble, it's going to be intriguing to sort of see, especially with the teasers that we saw against all odds. So
Yes.
that's going to be a very, set your eyes on Shelley and see what happens there.
Yeah, and we know that Shelley seems to be having a bit of a heel turn going on, don't we?
Yeah.
It's been happening. He's been getting a bit sort of kind of nastier over the recent weeks. And like you say, we saw a little bit of it as well at the Revolver show that we were talking about just now. So it's going to be very interesting how that one goes. And Tom, I didn't realise she was going off to do a movie. So
Okay.
yeah, if that's the way that they're going to write it out, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
That's probably why they were bringing Giselle Shaw in with Madison to keep the influence going for when she comes back.
Yeah, it's just a shame, obviously, that Madison got injured, isn't it? It's,
It is a shame.
just bad luck.
Yeah, definitely bad luck at that time. And Larry, I totally disagree with you. 6 fantastic wrestlers. Dino is a great wrestler.
He is completely underrated.
He is what I call a complete wrestler.
Yes.
He is awesome. Now, and then, of course, we've got the main event, which was sponsored by some movie, which I can't remember the name on, Marcus or something, I think it was called. But anyway, Honor No More versus the Bullet Club.
This is going to be good.
This is going to be pretty good. This is going to be pretty good. I think it was Eddie Edwards. Is it Taven and Bennett and Kenny King? Am I right?
Yes.
Yes. Versus obviously the Bullet Club, the Good Brothers, and Bay and Austin. So this I think is going to be an absolute cracker. I think the fact that obviously it's the main event, they already know whether it's any good. So they put it in there for the main event. They got it sponsored by some movie. It's, I don't know, apparently starring Paul White, is it, or whatever his name is? Yeah, Big Show.
Yeah, Big Show.
Yeah. So I what more can you say about this? Again, when you see these multi-man matches, with guys like this, it's going to be good because it's going to be quick tagging. We're going to get we're either going to get a real intense first, fast and furious start, or we're going to get like that slow build, people kind of, checking each other out, and then all of a sudden it's just going to burst into like super fast speed. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for this one. I'm excited. I think it's going to be really, really good, and I can't wait. What do you think? What do you think, Joe?
I'm looking forward to this. I'm really looking forward to seeing what Vincent and PCO are going to be doing in this match. Are they going to be at ringside? Because after what the PCO sort of redeemed himself last week when he beat Black Taurus. So are they going to trust him to be at ringside? I'm also looking forward to seeing what Ace Austin and Chris Beatty, because they demanded that they be a part of this match when the Good Brothers were talking about Honor No More.
Yeah, that's right.
Week.
They did.
So
yeah, they did.
This is going to really, really put Bay and Austin over, and I'm also looking forward to seeing how it's going to build the most likely split between Vincent and PCO with Honor No More, which it's just a great main event, setting up a lot of what ifs and whatnots and everything else. It's going to be really interesting.
Yeah. Larry, I didn't know about that. I'm going to go and check that out. That out. Big Show versus Giant A-Stacks. I can't imagine he made him look like a lightweight, but hey ho, let's go and check it. I've got to go and check it out. Yes, I think you are, Mir. I think you are the only person who is sick and tired of seeing Honor No More in 8-man, 10-man tag matches. I love them.
Yeah.
I do love a multi-person match, I must admit.
It would be nice to see them split. I do get the point. It would be nice to maybe see, Taven and Bennett just in a tag match, and it would be nice maybe to see Kenny King in the X Division. It would be nice to see them, in split into a division, because I feel like now they came in with a goal, and you sort of don't know what their goal is anymore.
Well, the original intention was for Taven and Bennett to win the tag team titles. And they have hinted at that was the first night they came in. The first thing Matt Taven did was grab the tag team titles and tap them. So I think the big build they're going to get is between Taven and Bennett, and then Eddie Edwards and Kenny King are going to be trying to make do something somewhere else.
Well,
So-
possibly, but I think the tag belts is probably the big thing.
Yeah.
I sort of kind of almost feel as well that they're not really about the gold. You know what I mean? I don't really
Yeah,
get
that's
the
what I
feeling
mean.
that's what
It's
they're
a-
about. They're more about sort of kind of like, I don't know. Well, maybe they are about. I mean, I don't know.
It feels
like you
like
say,
they're-
Taven and Bennett have been after the tag titles. Definitely, I agree
Yeah.
with
And
that.
Eddie Edwards is going to be there to try and just destroy Scott D'Amore.
It just seems they're more about sort of kind of just proving that they are worth being on the roster, that they are big names and they are a draw. I think it's almost more along those sort of lines for me.
Yeah. It feels like there's a good group, but there needs to be a bit of a reset on what they want to do with them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I agree with that. And of course, the last thing that has been advertised for tomorrow night's Impact, of course, is Taya and Rosemary heading into the Undead Round to try and find Havoc. What are we going to get? What's going to happen in the Undead Realm?
I think
Well-
we're going to get hints for Sue Young. I'm sure we're going to get hints for Sue Young. I just have this feeling she's coming back very soon. But I'm looking forward to this. And we no doubt we might get a cameo from James Mitchell too, if he's still
I
around.
have the runs.
I miss Sue. I must admit, I do miss Sue. I like interacting with her as well on Twitter. She's very cool, Sue Young on Twitter. Yeah, no. Anna, you might be right. I quite like these multi-person matches, but you're right. We do need to start seeing a little bit more or less of them, I guess.
Yeah, I think
But
even
it's
on
hard
pay-per-views,
because they're
there's
a
a lot of
faction,
them.
aren't they? But they're a faction. This is the thing. They're a big faction.
Oh yeah.
They're a big part. They're all about the brotherhood of them, aren't they? And that's the thing. But we have seen quite a lot of single stuff. I mean, PCO we've seen a lot. Vincent we've seen in singles.
Yeah.
Kenny King we've seen away from the whole group thing. He's been doing his own thing as well. So I don't know. We've had Matt and Mike doing their own thing as well with regards to tag team matches and stuff. So we are getting a bit of that as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get the whole multi-man thing does get a bit much after a while.
They're going
I
to do more multi-men. They need a win, a few more wins.
They do.
I think it depends as well what else you're doing. If you've got a lot of other multi-man matches, then people think, well, we've seen a lot of Honor No More in multi-man matches. This feels overload. But if there's a lot of singles wrestling on the match, you think, okay, I can deal with this.
Yeah. Okay, we're cool with all that. Then we've got we've got the Undead Realm stuff going on as well. So, and of course, if you haven't yet seen the interview that I did with Rosemary, which went out on Monday evening, it is available on the TNI, the Total Nonstop Impact network channel on YouTube. Go and check that one out. It's a YouTube exclusive, so go and check that one out. And it is really good. I mean, it's a good interview. She's in character.
Fantastic.
She does talk about a couple of characters actually that are currently in Honor No More, potentially being having to play with them. I think was the word. She'd quite like to play with Vincent and PCO. He's obviously, because Vincent's obviously got a few tricks up his sleeve that she'd like to know about. So that was quite good. But guys, if you haven't seen my interview yet, go and check it out. It's she's in character. She breaks it a little bit in the middle, but pretty much the whole time she's in character, and it's really good. I even started speaking more eloquently because I was talking to obviously the very eloquent Rosemary. No, it's a good interview. It's about 15 minutes. It's well worth 15 minutes of time. Go and check it out. But guys, please don't forget to head over to the TNI Patreon for exclusive extra content when you sign up. And also make sure you watch tomorrow night's TNI flagship Impact Live review directly after the show is aired on Twitch and YouTube. Guys, show them your support. Those guys have been busting their gut for several years to put out that review show. So, make sure you go and check them out. Also, all the TNI shows are also available for all you Listen on the Go fans as audio only via SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, wherever you listen to your favorite shows. Go and make sure you go and check them out as well. If you're, like you say, if you're listening on the go, where can we find you on the socials, Joe?
You can follow me on Twitter at JerkEmptySpace. you can jump onto Facebook or surf around Twitter looking for hashtag empty space, hashtag the void, or into the void. Or if you fancy to tickle your taste buds, your sense of humour, then look for hashtag Daily Giggle. But approach Facebook or Twitter with an open mind, and you may just keep your sanity. And you can also see that my pictures from Sunday on my Facebook page, and I've put a link of them on one of my tweets somewhere as well. But you're better off checking it on my Facebook page. It's also got a video of Charles Crowley's entrance to the ring, and the first match, and Eric Young's entrance too. I couldn't get a lot more because the battery on my phone was pretty much dead.
Yeah, so you've been busy on that phone that day, haven't you?
Yeah, so I like 40% battery when the show got started, and I had to keep that going for another 2 hours, almost 3 hours getting home. So
exactly, it was good.
But bring in the camera next time.
Yeah, can I just want to hark back as well, because talking about the Undead Realm on Thursday, which Rosemary also hit on when I was talking to her in the interview. She says that there is a chance that they may come across a few creatures. So, because we did speak about potentially bringing in more characters into Decay.
Yeah.
So
Black Taurus is a huge talking point too.
He was
not just the bull.
No, exactly, not just the bull. Anyway, Steve, where can we find you, bud?
You can find me over on Twitter at SimplySteve311 for everything Impact Wrestling related. So give us a look on there and a follow, and I'll give you a follow back.
Fantastic.
So, yeah.
And don't forget to check out his Wrestle Buddy articles. Find me at Lord Bison 45. That's where I pretty much do all of my wrestling stuff. And please come over and give me a follow. If you haven't already, I'm rapidly heading now towards 1,800, so I'm very excited about that. Keep them coming, guys, and of course, don't forget to take the time out and helping us move up the rankings on YouTube by giving this show a thumbs up. It's very important. The thumbs up make a massive difference. Don't forget to leave a comment, because the more comments we get, not just in the live, but in the actual comment section as well after the show's aired, the more comments we get in there as well, that helps lift us on the rankings on YouTube as well. As I say, don't forget to click subscribe, and don't forget to give the bell a tickle, a squeeze, or even a smash to never miss any of the great content coming from TNI UK and US teams each and every week. Like I said, we've got interviews, we have previews, we have reviews, we have great shows like this. So make sure you go and check it out. So don't forget, if you want to support TNI, head over to the Spreadshirt store or the ProWrestlingTees.com/Total Nonstop Impact store. We got loads of great t-shirts. We've even got mugs and all sorts on the Spreadshirt store. We got mugs, we've got hoodies, we got everything. Loads of stuff on there. So go and check that out if you want to support us that way. We'd very much appreciate it. And of course, thank you very much to Anna, and I think it was Courtney today that gave us some super stickers. Thank you. We appreciate your support always. It makes a big difference to us and helps us obviously be able to keep putting this stuff out each and every week. With all that said, I have been your host, Bison, and they have been the Joker and Simply Steve. And this has been episode 91 of Impacted. Take care, everyone.
We're Bison! We are Impacted!